We fear nuclear energy, yet we keep relying on the very sources that slowly destroy our planet. Ironic, isn't it?
Climate change is caused by carbon dioxide emissions in the air from fossil fuels used for electricity generation. According to World Development Indicators data from 2011 to 2021, developed countries with high incomes have higher average carbon emissions with a downward trend from around 25% to 20% due to the shift to nuclear energy, which accounts for up to 21% of the total energy used for electricity generation without hindering gross domestic product growth. Meanwhile, Southeast Asian countries have lower emissions but saw an upward trend from around 16% to 18% because they are still focused on other renewable energies such as solar and wind power and have not yet used nuclear energy. Therefore, the use of nuclear energy for power generation in Southeast Asian countries may reduce emissions without hindering economic growth and is in line with Sustainable Development Goals 7 and 13. But can nuclear energy cut emissions?
To examine whether nuclear energy can reduce emission, we use a dynamic two-way fixed effect model. This model captures both country difference and time effect, allowing us to see how carbon density evolves across country. The dependent variable is carbon density of GDP, while the independent variable includes the electricity from nuclear and fossil source, GDP per capita, and urban population share. We analyze two groups of countries, nuclear countries such as France and the US, and the Southeast Asian countries including Indonesia and Malaysia. The results show in the nuclear countries all variables are significant. Nuclear and fossil electricity like one have a negative impact on carbon intensity, meaning they help reduce emission, while current in fossil use, GDP per capita and urbanization increase it. In Southeast Asian countries, only fossil variables are significant. Current fossil use raises emission, but the lagged effect is negative, suggesting a delayed transition. Overall, nuclear countries experience a steadier decline in carbon density, whereas Southeast Asian countries remain more fossil dependent in their energy mix.
Our study compared 33 nuclear nations with 10 in Southeast Asia from 2001 to 2021, and the data are clear. Nuclear energy really can cut emissions. In nuclear countries, carbon intensity falls almost 4 times faster, with an emission half-life of 5 years, while Southeast Asia takes almost 18 years. So, why does the region still have no nuclear power plants? Because 6 big barriers stand in the way: high investment costs, weak regulatory system, limited technical capacity, political caution under the Nuclear Weapons Free Zone Treaty, a preference for renewable and gas, and persistent public fear about safety and waste. Yet, countries like South Korea, France, and the UAE prove that with strong laws, independent regulators, innovative financing, and clear waste plans, nuclear energy can be both safe and transformative. If Southeast Asia can combine that framework with public trust, it could cut its transition by more than a decade, turning nuclear from a fear into a foundation for a cleaner future.
Based on our research, countries that use nuclear energy have lower carbon emission intensity and shorter emission adaptation periods compared to those still relying on fossil fuels. Our model estimates that the Southeast Asian region would need around 36 years to achieve significant emission cuts if it depends only on fossil fuels, while nuclear powered countries could reach the same goal in 10 years. So, can nuclear energy cut emissions? Absolutely yes. This finding shows that nuclear energy can be a strategic solution for Southeast Asian countries to cut carbon emissions and improve long-term energy efficiency. We recommend developing nuclear energy and reducing dependence on fossil fuels as its use has been proven to slow down emission cuts and increase air pollution. Strong regulations and independent nuclear authorities are also needed to ensure safety and transparency. Moreover, nuclear waste management should be planned from the beginning with safe long-term storage and open public involvement to build trust and ensure sustainability in the future. Nuclear energy is more than just technology. It's a bold step toward a cleaner and more stable future. Now, the choice is ours to stay afraid or to start innovating. Because in the end, nuclear energy may not be the only answer, but it has proven to be the key to cutting emissions and driving a sustainable energy future for Southeast Asia.